SANDF soldier Rifleman Calvin Moagi is being later arrested. His final resting place just outside Tzaneen, where Rifleman Moagi is, of course, one of the 14 SANDF soldiers killed in the eastern DRC. 9 of the 14 soldiers come from Limpopo. All right, so we're going to bring you the latest there. Reporter Pimani Baloyi is standing by to give us that update. Pimani, good morning. Perhaps you could just give us an update. We obviously know that friends, family, and colleagues, those who served alongside him, are going to be paying their last respects. What does the program look like? What can we expect ahead of the funeral taking place?
Good morning, Lizelle, and good morning to our viewers. As you rightfully stated, today is the funeral service of Rifleman Calvin Moagi here at Lorraine Village at a sports ground in the area. This is the area where Mr. Moagi, Rifleman Moagi, was born and bred, and he grew up from. The Moagi family, Lizelle, was one of the first families to speak to the media shortly after news of the first 9 South African SANDF soldiers who were killed in the DRC, and were part of the first team that visited that family, and that family was distraught. They were heartbroken and they could not believe what had happened. At the time, the family was said that they were looking forward to Rifleman Moagi coming back from deployment at around March, but then they were informed of his passing. It was at around the 25th of January when they received those news. Lizelle, as you can see behind me, it is a hive of activity here at the Kudu Sports Ground in Lorraine, where mourners are starting to gather. Rifleman Moagi's coffin was just driven into this venue. What we do know is that the program is set to start at 7 a.m. As you can see, there is that gun tractor that we have seen last week when we covered the funeral service of Rifleman Derrick Maluleke. And yesterday, when colleagues covered other funerals across the country, that gun rifle that gun tractor is where the coffin is put as it is driven to the cemetery. So we expect after that funeral service is done for that coffin to be taken to that tractor, and then it will be driven to the cemetery. But in terms of what we can expect in terms of the program, let me bring in a family representative, Mr. Moagi, who happens to be Rifleman Moagi's uncle. Mr. Moagi, thank you so much for your time, and condolences to you and your family. I remember coming to the family a day or so after we received the news, and the family was sad. I remember his younger sister talking about how he was the person who took care of them financially as a family, but her saying he will come back in a coffin. And finally, this community that raised Rifleman Moagi gets to see his coffin here. How is the family feeling today?
We're feeling like that weight has been lifted off our shoulders, because we've waited long enough, for his remains to be brought back, and it's very, very emotional indeed.
It's a mourning period that happened for almost a month for the family, with neighbors and the community coming to comfort you. But today, it's that final moment. What can we expect in the program today?
We expect the family to speak of, what they know about him. I'm sure everyone will speak of the love that he had for his family, the love that he had for everyone. He cared for everyone, And the family, his mother, they wrote messages. And everybody, I'm sure, they're talking about one thing: the love that he had, the respect he had.
I see generals here. Will this be a fully fledged military funeral? What is happening?
A fully fledged military funeral. And we are honored as a family to have Louis being buried, with the full military honor that he can get. It's a respect for the family.
Are there any dignitaries that we can expect at today's ceremony?
Yes, we've got the local Hoshi Masangwani of the Ga-Sekororo. We've got the local mayor Musolwa from Marulane local municipality. We've got His Excellency Executive Mayor from Mopani, Mayor Shai, and then we expecting the MEC of Kokhta, MEC Magam.
I've seen on the list that the SANDF has sent that Rifleman Moagi is the youngest. To South Africans who only know his date of birth from the pamphlets that they've seen, how would you remember him as his uncle? What kind of a person was he?
He was very bubbly. Wherever he was, everybody's laughing, he's loud, wherever he was. But most of all, he was very kind. I remember they called him Muruti. Somebody called me from DRC, sent me a message to say, I remember him, we called him Muruti. Even a mayor from his Tusai in Zirast said, they asked us, why did they call him Muruti? I said, one word, because of his kindness.
Thank you so much. Condolences to you and your family. That is the uncle of Rifleman Moagi Calvin Moagi bidding farewell to his niece that he says was kind and was loved by everyone in and around him. When we first visited that family, Lizel, we were touched by the character of the person that he was. We were given diaries that Rifleman Moagi wrote from as early as a teenager, where he saw that he would be committed to go into school. He would be kind to his teachers and classmates, and that he would be respectful, and he was grateful for every lesson that was taught to him. So today, the finality is here. This family will be bidding farewell to him, and he will be sent to his graveside by his fellow soldiers. As we've heard, this is a fully fledged military funeral.